What do you think this means for Scotland, for the community and communities here? What does it mean for the kingdom of God and being church in this part of God's world?
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for the whole church to refresh itself and renew itself and take fresh confidence in the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think for years and years and years, when people looked at things like mission and evangelism and so on, it felt very much for many people like putting square pegs in round holes, and people were being challenged, to do mission or to welcome people in a certain kind of way that people felt uncomfortable with. The good news about Fresh Expressions of Church is that it genuinely takes hold of the natural shape of people as God has made them, their natural interests outside of the church, in the society, in the context in which they live, and releases them to engage in mission in the most natural ways. And that's why I think it is such good news for the church, and certainly for the church in Scotland and the Church of Scotland, and particularly at a time where, in all of the denominations, in a way, confidence has been getting lower and lower, and people have been talking about declining numbers and all the rest of it, and how on earth do we turn this around? And why this is such good news locally is that it's saying this is not something for the professional experts. Mm-hmm. This is something that the evidence is showing that any church, however small, however struggling, any Christian, however introverted and shy and so on, that actually this is an easy way of everybody beginning to engage in this and see a complete turnaround in our fortunes as a church and its impact on society.
So can I just pick up something there, that from what you're saying, this isn't necessarily resource intensive in terms of finance or even energy. It's running where there's a natural enthusiasm and energy.
Absolutely.
Particularly if folks are feeling really quite wearied within the church.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the Church of England, it's very different, I'm sure, in your context, but they love to talk about, non-ordained people as being the laity, the lay people. Mm-hmm. And we have all our categories of licensing and accrediting the lay people who we allow, to do certain things. And in this research, they've actually created a whole new piece of jargon where we don't just talk about lay people, we talk about the lay, mm-hmm. which is talking about, your ordinary people in the pews with a faith who are being released to do this or are already doing it. Mm-hmm. And now we're asking the question, well, how can we bless this and accredit and authorize more people to do it in a way that doesn't ask them to jump through several hoops of training and so on in order to do it. So it is something that is just releasing ordinary people, and therefore it isn't resource intensive in terms of we need lots of cash to make it happen.
One final question, because that's been so positive in terms of sharing that vision and the potential that there is within the wider church and the church here. And I don't really want this to sound too negative, but what might hold us back from this adventure?
Yeah. I think in all of our churches and in any institution, even non-Christian ones, there will always be a very strong default that pulls us back to what we're used to, whatever we're doing. In fact, you even find that, within an initiative called Fresh Expressions, that very quickly, once we've found things that work, we have that tendency to want to institutionalize it and set it in stone and so on. Whereas a genuine movement is just that. It continues to move forward and move forward and move forward. And the good news of this, I think, over 12 years is that there has been a natural, ongoing sense of momentum and movement. And we really want to maintain that, and the danger is that we don't.
Right. So it's that flexibility, fluidity, looking forward,
that's right,
but building upon what has been.
Yeah.
Phil, thanks so much. It's been great talking to you. Thank you.
Right.